the heaviest metal credit card of all time. Rumored to be one of only 18 in existence. Plated with the very same tungsten that forged the International Space Station. And wielded at business dinners like a samurai sword. It's a classic corporate power move. But the real power move? Having end-to-end visibility on your most critical shipments. FedEx, the new power move.
Now that's the new edition way.
But I feel like there's another level we can take it to.
What you think, Mike?
2 steps ahead of you, Slick.
What's good, bro?
What you doing, man?
I'm in.
Woman, you don't even know what I'm getting ready to ask you.
Here's the vision. All 3 of us on the same stage every night.
Gonna go crazy.
No barriers, no separation.
It'll be like 9 kings and a queen.
The next level starts now.
Calling all collectors! Topps NBA basketball trading cards are back. It's available in the Grizzlies' den by Fanatics and online at Topps.com. Rip into bold color parallels, electric inserts, relics, and autographed cards from today's biggest stars and the next-gen talent. Look out for rookie cards of Cooper Flagg and Dylan Harper, plus Grizzlies favorites Ja Morant, Jalen Wells, and so many more. You don't want to miss this drop. Grab your set before it's gone.
Jeff Dunham, Artificial Intelligence, his all-new tour.
You're the other white meat.
How can you be so smart on one hand and so stupid on the other? Well, you're half of it.
I realize I could have avoided all this years ago with one simple word. I do not. Silence!
Don't miss a Memphis. Friday, April 10th, FedEx Forum. Tickets on sale Monday, September 29th at jeffdunham.com.
Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
All right, I'm here. My name is Gary Parrish. I'm speaking to you from Midtown Manhattan, New York City. Bennett Doyle back in Memphis producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I sure hope you didn't think Madison Square Garden would be the place where the Grizzlies got back on track, because it did not happen. They trailed big after one quarter. They trailed big at the half. They trailed big in the third quarter, and they lost by double digits again. We'll talk about it momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you in the next segment. In about 25 minutes or so, Chris Vernon is going to join me. He, of course, is the host. Chris Vernon Show, weekdays noon, Grind City Media. He'll pop inside the Built Ford Tough studio. Chris Vernon will join me in the next segment. Finish talking to him, take a break, come back, do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we'll discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories. Among them, Penny Hardaway's Tigers took their first loss of the season last night down in Oxford. Final score, Ole Miss 83, Memphis 77. We will talk Tiger basketball in about 40 minutes. The biggest win of the night in college hoops, it might have belonged to the Tigers' old rival from the Metro Conference. Final score, Louisville 96, Kentucky 88. Big win for Pat Kelsey. First victory for Louisville over UK since 2020. I'll tell you about Louisville's awesome freshman. Yes, there's another awesome freshman out there. We'll do that in just a bit. The top 5 teams in the official college football playoff rankings remained unchanged this week. I'll tell you who replaced Memphis as the 12th seed in the bracket. We'll do that a little later on in the show. Pittsburgh Pirates GM, a fellow named Ben Charrington. He made it clear last night that his franchise will not, I repeat, will not be trading Paul Skenes this offseason. Sure hate to hear that, but crazy that you even have to answer that question. I'll tell you what else he said. We'll do that in the third segment, and it is now official. Chick-fil-A going to be testing a waffle sandwich in Baltimore and San Antonio. It's starting December 1st. Should we spend Christmas at either Camden Yards or on the Riverwalk? I'll ask Bennett for his thoughts. We'll do it during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually do GP's Carryout, and we'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to. But I did want to start with your Memphis Grizzlies because Game 12 of a scheduled 82, it was played last night here in Midtown Manhattan, about like 22 blocks just south of where I'm sitting right now. As you likely know, it did not go well for the visitors. Final score, Knicks 133, Grizzlies 120. The Grizz trailed by 12 points after one quarter, by 23 points at the half, by as many as 28 points at one point in the game. They lost it by 13 thanks to a fourth quarter rally that was mostly meaningless. The Grizzlies turned it over 22 times. It resulted in 33 points for the Knicks. That's a troubling stat. Points conceded after turnovers last night. Grizz 33, Knicks 11. So the Knicks outscored the Grizzlies by 22 in points after turnovers, which is obviously a killer because the Grizzlies probably can't lose that category by that much and expect to compete with a quality opponent given how not so great they are in half-court settings. Big Bet Bennett, it is good to see you on this Wednesday morning. I appreciate you and Lang Whitaker holding things down yesterday while I traveled to New York after getting delayed 6 different times and then ultimately canceled on Monday. Let's start with your thoughts on the Grizzlies sitting here 4-8 through 12 games, and they're coming off a double-digit loss last night, 6.5-point underdog tonight in Boston against the Celtics inside TD Garden.
Yeah, the vibes were pretty good on Friday after getting a win over the lowly Dallas Mavericks. And
wish we could play them again.
Well, I don't think it helps that after that you have to play the 2 best teams in the NBA. I think that probably hurts just a little bit. Yeah, last night, like you said, man, the turnovers were just brutal last night. They also gave up 23-pointers. Like, it felt like that was the worst part of last night. And I know we'll talk about the Tigers later, but watching both of my teams just have a complete 3-point clinic run on them, that was a pretty rough night last night for yours truly. Yes.
Basketball is often played these days at the 3-point line, and last night, whether we're talking Tigers or Grizzlies, that 3-point line was more of an advantage for the opponent than it was for the team with Memphis across its jersey.
Yeah.
It's a tough situation.
It was a tough situation. Yeah, I mean, listen, last night with the Grizzlies, like, and I heard Ja, I'm sure we're going to talk about Ja's struggles here in a second. He did have 10 assists last night. He's actually averaging 10 assists for the month of November, so he's doing okay in that category. Obviously, the scoring is not there at all, but I did think that there was some left on the table last night. Like, maybe Zach Edey coming back will help that a little bit. Jock Landale missed another lob from Ja last night. That was tough. I don't know, man. It's hard to look at that one game last night and just say, oh, God, what's wrong? Because I think part of it is just the Knicks are amazing, and they're 7-0 at home after that game. They're going to beat a lot of teams at home this year. But that being said, it feels off right now.
It feels off right now. I agree with you. You probably shouldn't look at a Tuesday night game in Midtown Manhattan against what some people believe is the team that's going to represent the Eastern Conference in the NBA Finals. Given that the Grizzlies are so shorthanded, look at what happened last night over 48 minutes and say, what is wrong? It's pretty obvious what is wrong. The more concerning thing is, like, you don't have to just look at last night to be concerned. We're 12 games into this thing now.
Mm-hmm.
The record is 4-8. Ja and Jaren have played in 11 of these 12 games together. The record is 4-8. And I know that Zach Edey coming back will help. I know eventually Brandon Clark coming back in, as we now know, 6 to 9 weeks would help. Ty Jerome being healthy would help. Scottie Pippen Jr. being available would be amazing. But it does feel like there are bigger problems here because so often, basically anytime they play a quality team, it gets away from them. They might, fight back in the fourth like they did last night to make it look like it wasn't as lopsided as it actually was. But that game last night was lopsided.
Yes.
Not quite from start to finish, but certainly from every moment after we got to 30-30. Because though the Grizzlies did trail by 12 points at the end of the first quarter, the game was actually tied 30-30. Late in the first, and then what followed was a 12-0 run by the Knicks. That's how we get to 42-30 after one. Come out the second quarter, Knicks go on a 7-0 run, So now we're a 19-0 run, and that 30-30 game is now 49-30. It's basically night-night at MSG. And I know that Tomas Isolo has been asked about Ja Morant's struggles and said that he's unconcerned. And I know some other fans and people connected to the franchise have looked at Ja Morant's struggles and say they're unconcerned. But I can just tell you, if you just do a Twitter/X search for Ja Morant, the people who actually cover basketball for a living, they are wildly concerned about what's going on with him, because last night he was 4 of 14 from the field, 16 points, 10 assists. The 10 assists is nice. Could have been more, as you pointed out, but the 8 turnovers were obviously a problem. And now in the past 2 games, he's 7 of 32 from the field, 13.5 points, 9 assists, 5.5 turns. I'll just read to you what Sam Vecini typed last night into Twitter. I don't know anybody in this world who watches more basketball and writes about it and talks about it as intelligently as Sam Vecini. He is my former colleague at CBS Sports, now, of course, covers the NBA and the NBA draft for The Athletic. And for my money, NBA draft stuff, nobody puts as much work in as Sam Vecini. And here's what he typed into social media last night. Think there's for sure disconnect between Ja Morant and the coaching staff, but the way he played tonight, Red Auerbach and Phil Jackson could have been coaching him, and it would not have mattered. That was just a rough game where the Knicks blitzed him, and he looked rush with no answers. End of his tweet. Next question for you, Bennett Doyle. You know we like to do it on a scale of 1 to 7. On a scale of 1 to 7, be honest. How concerned are you about what we're watching right now?
I'll put it at about a 4, just because it's starting to. You got to get some wins together at some point. There's plenty of time to turn this around. I'll say that over and over and over again. But it's, it could slip away like starting this week. I mean, you got 3 more tough road games before you come back home starting tonight. So,
I'm sorry if I wasn't clear. I mean, specifically with what we're watching with Ja Morant now.
No. And that's why it's concerning, because you would think that, it's go time. And he looks, it was the game before that he said that he was getting no foul calls, right, in the post game. And you saw last night, he was getting very frustrated with the officials not getting foul calls. And I don't know if that's going to change for him. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that there's not going to be some magic switch and the officials are just going to be like, you know what, we're going to start officiating Ja Morant differently than we have been. I think this just is what it is. And so it's going to be on him to figure out a way to play through that. And obviously the coaching staff to help him play through that. But a lot of it's going to be on his shoulders as well. He talked about, the quote was, I'm getting no foul calls. Y'all had a whole spiel about running in there careless and getting hurt. So what now? That's what y'all want me to go back to doing. Let's end that combo right now. Obviously, no one wants him to be reckless and get hurt, but
I just want him to be awesome. I don't really care how he does it. I just like him to be awesome.
Yeah, and get to the rim like we're used to seeing for the past, 6 years, right? It's not happening right now.
You correct me if I'm wrong, but sure, Ja has been frustrated by not getting foul calls throughout this season, through 12 games for the team, 11 games for him, because he did have the 1-game suspension. Hasn't, again, correct me if I'm wrong, feel free, hasn't Ja Morant not getting proper foul calls always been a thing connected to Ja Morant?
Yeah, I think so.
Hasn't that always been like he doesn't get the whistle the way he believes he should get the whistle?
And I think rightfully so. I want to say that too. I do think that he does not get calls that he should be getting. I will say that. Yes.
Okay, I'll concede the point, because it's not even the point I'm trying to make, but it'll hammer home the point I'm making. Not getting proper whistles has always been a thing, either in his head or in reality, perhaps both. All right? He's been awesome regardless of it. He's been awesome in spite of it. If it's ever been a thing, and he's always said it was, and Grizzly fans have always said it was, he's always been awesome when he's on the court and healthy, in spite of the lack of a good whistle.
True.
And he's not right now. And to me, that's a real problem. This isn't just like, we're hyper zoned in on it because we're living in Memphis. We're talking about the Grizzlies every day, so we're noticing what's going on. Like, basically everybody who writes about or talks about the NBA on a national level has picked up on what's happening. They are drilling down on the numbers. And very few of them are saying things like, it's no big deal, it's just a slow start, everything's fine. Almost everybody is sounding alarm bells, whether they should be or not. It's just true that they are. And the last 2 games have been, I think, especially problematic. Not necessarily because the Grizzlies lost them, because the Grizzlies are extremely shorthanded, and one opponent was the reigning champ, and the other opponent was somebody who a lot of people think could meet them in the NBA Finals in 2026. So not that concerned that the Grizzlies lost to the Thunder at home or to the Knicks in the Garden. Like almost every team that plays that combination this year is going to have a similar result. But it is concerning that in matchups against lead guards that just a few years ago, if you pulled out all your point guard list or all your NBA player list, Ja Morant would be ranked ahead of these players. They were all similarly young. They were all coming into their primes. And if you ask Tim McMahon or Bill Simmons or Kevin O'Connor or Chris Vernon or anybody who talks about or writes about the NBA on a national level, let's start ranking lead guards, Ja Morant would have been ahead of both Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Jalen Brunson.
Yep.
But he wouldn't be now. Nobody
No.
puts him there. And you can say that that's because Ja's been out of sight, out of mind. You can say because that's because Ja's been not available enough. You can say it's because of any number of things, but you can't explain it away or excuse it away or dismiss it once we just watched him play against these 2 players in back-to-back games, and he did not get the better of either one of them. Against the Thunder on Sunday, he's 3 of 18 from the field, 11 points, 8 assists, 3 turns. Meantime, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 35 points, 6 assists, 1 turn. Against the Knicks last night, Ja, 4 of 14 from the field, 16 points, 10 assists, and 10 assists and 8 turns. Meantime, Jalen Brunson, 32 points, 10 assists, and 6 turns. So these are 2 lead guards who were considered ranked below Ja on the totem pole of lead guard stuff just a few years ago. Now they have both passed him whenever people put those lists together, and they have both outplayed him in the past 2 games, and the Grizzlies lost those 2 games by combined 27 points, and they lost Ja's combined minutes in those 2 games, as Chris Harrington pointed out at dailymemphian.com. They lost those 2 games by Ja's minutes, rather, by a combined 40 points. Last 5 games, as Kevin O'Connor pointed out on Twitter last night, it's 29 turnovers and just 25 made field goals. Now the Grizz are 4-8 on the season, 4-7 when Ja and Jaren played together. Those are all ugly numbers, and there's more of them out there if you really wanted to dive into them. And people are still starting to wonder if the best is behind him. And I know that's something others have whispered about over the past couple of years, because when you are a super athletic guard, particularly one who can't rely on shooting to create advantages for you, and you are mostly reliant on your ability to bounce it and just physically overwhelm people with quickness and speed and explosiveness and power, that stuff can start to slip just a little. And if it starts to slip just a little, if you don't have the other stuff, like a reliable 3-point shot, the game can get very, very difficult for you. I think it's too early to make any declarations about that, but I can just tell you there are people who cover basketball for a living who are already suggesting that, yes, this is troubling, not just a slow start, but a sign of something bigger. Where are you at on that?
It's just hard for me to believe that a guy that we've been watching for these past 6 years play at such a high level to just have a fall off like this at age 26. I can't get on board with that. And I agree that all the signs are troubling. The numbers are troubling. I just don't. I have trouble buying that. I think that he is still a great player and still can be a great player. I don't know if it's learning a new system. We obviously know the frustration from a couple weeks ago. I don't know. It's hard to put a finger on it. And I agree. I saw what everybody was saying last night too, but I just keep going back to I've seen that guy be awesome for too long to think that he's just not awesome anymore.
Let me be clear. I agree with you. I think he's still going to be awesome, still can be awesome, but I do think this is problematic, what we watched, and is an indication that whether it's the coaching change, the new approach to substitution patterns, or anything else, that if we were hoping that this was going to be a smooth transition from one thing to the next and a bounce back season for Ja Morant right from the jump, it's pretty crystal clear that is not going to be the case. Like, that is not the case. And we don't have to use revisionist history here. I mean, we spent all off season, especially in the preseason, discussing at length how important it was for the Grizzlies to get off to a nice start for a variety of reasons, and how important it was for Ja to get off to a nice start for a variety of reasons. In some ways, those two things are connected to each other, but you really needed both of the reputations of the franchise and the star player, of the franchise and the face, to get a boost, throughout the early part of the schedule. And in reality, the opposite has happened. Again, the record is now 4-8, heading into another road game tonight that you're supposed to lose, that will be followed by 2 more road games at Cleveland on Saturday, at the Spurs on next Tuesday, that you're supposed to lose. So unless the Grizzlies can upset somebody on the road in these next 3 games, 4-8 is going to turn into 4-11. And one of the things we held on to as a source of positivity after everything that's gone bad in the recent years, and after the Desmond Bane trade in the offseason, one of the things we held on to was like, listen, I know things haven't gone smoothly, and I know they haven't played a lot together, certainly not as much as anybody would have liked, but just the numbers are the numbers. Don't let anybody ever tell you otherwise. Don't ever forget it. As long as Ja and Jaren are out there together, they're fine. When Ja and Jaren play, the Grizzlies win 60% of their games. As long as those guys stay healthy, the Grizzlies should be fine. When they play together, the Grizz win 60% of their games. That's what we said because it was true. At least the past part of it was true. When Ja and Jaren played together, the Grizzlies had 1 through 6 years, 60% of their games. But it's not true this season. Right now with Ja and Jaren together, they are 4-7 on the season. Right now with Ja and Jaren together, they're only winning 36.4% of their games. And if those guys play as expected together in each of the next 3 games, well, then that 4-7 record drops to 4-10. And these numbers start to drop dramatically.
Yeah, I think, too, also, just to point this out, it's the 3rd time this season Jaren's fouled out of a game. We're in November. That's going to be a problem, too. Until Zach Edey comes back, it just appears that that's going to be a problem. So hopefully Zach Edey will be back soon.
Yeah, hopefully. And that
because that's not going away.
But even as I saw, DeMichael Cole, who covers the Grizzlies for the Commercial Appeal last night, tweet, among the hopes, and we can still attach ourselves to it if you'd like. I mean, what else is there to do? But when Zach Edey comes back, that fixes a lot of stuff. And I think the more realistic thing, or at least forget what I think, this is what DeMichael Cole tweeted last night. Yeah, Zach Edey coming back is going to help, but is that going to be a solution for all that ails the Grizzlies? It doesn't seem so, because let's just circle back to what you said at the beginning, and then we'll get to Chris Vernon. The vibes seem off. Things don't feel good. Yeah, beating the Mavericks last Friday night was nice, just because if you didn't do that, man, there's no telling where we'd be at today. At least one more loss in the loss column, and then, all sorts of really bad feelings, given that the Mavericks just yesterday fired their general manager. But if you were hoping the victory over the Mavericks would spark something positive and lead to something good, whether that's with Ja, Jaren, or the team in general, it has not happened. We'll see if something clicks tonight in Boston at TD Garden. Chris Vernon will join me next.
Southland Casino Hotel is helping you navigate to Santa. Win your share of over $550,000 in free play and a brand new Lincoln. Here Comes Santa takes flight on Saturday, November 1st, when you can begin earning entries. And don't forget the grand finale drawings on Saturday, November 29th and Saturday, December 27th to win a share of over $40,000 in free play or a brand new Lincoln. Win big during Here Comes Santa, only at Southland Casino Hotel.
Watching the Grizzlies is easy with FanDuel Sports Network. If you have cable or satellite, you're all set. Find us on your channel lineup. You can also use your TV provider login to watch games on the FanDuel Sports Network app. No cable or satellite? Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network online. You can also watch on Prime Video by adding a FanDuel Sports Network subscription. Not sure where to start? Visit FanDuelSportsNetwork.com to learn more.
The only thing better than Saturday Night Hoops is when it comes with an exclusive Grizz hoodie. Every Saturday this season, $60 gets you a Grizzlies ticket and a limited edition Grizzlies hoodie. 4 different hoodie designs dropping across 4 Saturday games. Not sold anywhere else. Don't miss your shot to collect all 4 designs. Grab your tickets and gear up now at grizzlies.com/Saturday.
We are so excited to be joined in studio now by Memphis Hustle head coach Rob Sannicola. How excited are you for this to all get started?
Super excited. It's something that I think I've done for 20 plus years. So excited about that and just helping our group kind of progress. And it's been fun to watch.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Nate Bargatze.
Look, I say a lot of dumb stuff. I try to keep it in front of large groups. Seems to go better that way.
Big Dumb Eyes World Tour.
When you say something dumb one-on-one, it's a lot for that person. I'll say it, then I can just feel that they feel the weight of my life on their shoulders.
Tickets and info at NateBargatze.com. Don't miss the Big Dumb Eyes World Tour. Nate Bargatze.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. I'm in New York City. Ben Doyle back in Memphis producing the program. Chris Vernon is the host of the Chris Vernon Show, weekdays noon, Grind City Media. He joins me on Wednesdays in the second segment. Today is Wednesday. This is the second segment, so I'm hoping he's right there in front of a camera. Chris Vernon is
Here
GP.
I am. Here I am.
I knew I could trust you. Hey, tell me things are going to get better. Can you cheer me up, please? It's the holiday season.
What's it going to do? Get worse?
I guess it can't get worse, but
We're in
I don't
Boston
need it.
tonight.
I don't need it to not. I want to be clear. I don't need it to not get worse. I need it to actually get better.
Well, I mean, look, part of getting better is beating somebody that's worth a crap, right? Which they haven't been able to do that yet. At least, look, it's been good that Phoenix has gotten, that win actually looked better than it did at the time. To me, it's not like, I understand that it's going to be a process. I understand that you're going to get some reinforcements into the lineup. It's the body language and the vibe. That's the problem for me. It's not even the level of play. It's just even when they were like, we all got excited. It's like, oh, they cut it to 10 last night in the game. It still doesn't look like there ain't nobody like jumping up and down. There's nobody high-fiving. There's nobody like it's just bizarre. It is bizarre. And I have this huge fear of this lack of buy-in that's just not that shows itself. And it's like, I just want, even if you are, and I know it's hard to get buy-in when you're losing, but we've watched this team, and I've watched this team for 25 years, and I've seen all manner of versions of teams. And the chemistry on this team just is not there. It's not there. When you watch it, it's not there. Now, again, this is one of the things that Tomas Isolo has said, right? Which comes first, the chemistry or the success, right? Does success then give you chemistry, or do you have the chemistry and that leads to success? And all I know is, I don't know, but they don't have either.
Right.
Right?
Well,
there is no chemistry and there is no success.
I don't know if the chemistry comes before the success or the success comes before the chemistry, but I'm pretty sure you cannot get the chemistry if you don't have the success.
Correct.
If you already don't have the chemistry, You're not going to get it while you're losing over and over again. You might have chemistry lose and be able to pull out of that. But if you are losing without chemistry, you don't get the chemistry on 4-game losing streaks.
You have frustrated stars and it permeates the team. Everybody sees it. Everybody sees it. You have frustrated stars and it permeates the team. And to me, look, Morant has obviously been a shell of himself so far this season. And so you can say, why, right? And everybody's got a different answer, right? Oh, he's just not the player he used to be. Oh, he's scared to go to the basket now because he's scared he's going to get hurt. Oh, he can't shoot anymore, And again, right, like he's shooting like this just comically bad from 3, right, which is a huge portion of it. Because of the percentage of his shots that he's taken from 3. And obviously is going to the basket at a lower rate than he ever has, whatever. But and this was my fear when we talked about the locker room rant, which is you've got to have full buy-in from the players that matter most. End of story. End of story. That will mushroom into the rest of the team. It doesn't matter if Cam Spencer has 18. It doesn't matter if Santi Aldama had a good game last night. What matters is that your best players who have been all NBA level performers perform at that level. And so why? Why are they not performing at that level? And I watch them and I see both of them intensely frustrated. There's no joy. And it permeates the whole team. He told us in the locker room he didn't have the joy. Like, so why? Why? Right? That is something that if I'm running this team, I am in a room with, I'm having constant conversations. What's your opinion? How do we fix this? Because as I told you, this is not a dictatorship. It is a partnership. It is a partnership, and so I would get Ja and Jaren in a room and been like, how do we, in your opinion, how do we get this right?
All right, let me ask you, from an honest place, what if they tell you this ain't it with the coach? It's not working. This is not going to work. What do you do then? How do you react to that?
I roll him. What are you talking about? Huh? What? If me and you... if somebody else comes in here, if we lose our boss and somebody comes in here and we can't stand and the way he's got this set up, he's got you doing 4 hours, he's got me doing 4 hours, you know what I mean? And we're just like, this ain't it. This is not it. Well, then you got a choice. Either we're leaving or they're leaving. I mean, that's the way it goes. And so, again, you're putting me in a hard position where I don't think that that's what they would necessarily say. But, again, now you're having everybody creep up. I mean, you're seeing all kinds of former players in the NBA, all kinds of people. This hockey line stuff, that FIBA stuff don't work. And unless you have a track record of success in the NBA doing something, those players are at least going to have the question in the back of their mind, right? Like, you didn't hire an established NBA coach that this is proven to work, right? And I am of the opinion that in the NBA, right, it's about players. And what you've tried to do these last couple of years is know that you are at a talent disadvantage. And so, you remember how Mike Leach used to always be able to compete, even at whether it was Texas Tech, whether it was Washington State, whether it was Mississippi State, you name it, right? He didn't have all the 5 stars, right? But he had a schematic advantage against his opponents. Like, I don't buy it, bro. I don't buy that you can just have a schematic advantage in the NBA. Not when you've got Jalen Wells and you've got Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and you've got a rookie who's just learning his way. These are your wing players, and you're walking into OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges. I mean, it's not even a knife to a gunfight. What would be a better one? Like
it's a Mark Sanchez to a knife fight.
No, he's good at those, evidently.
No, he's bad. I think he's bad at them.
Oh, he is.
I don't buy that you can scheme up and beat NBA teams. You know what I mean?
I agree with you. I try to be open-minded about it, but I am a big believer in use your best players as often as possible. I do not think Oklahoma City is the reigning champ because of the way they play. I think they have more great players than anybody else. And that's why they.
Well, and also, like, everybody always takes these lessons and it's copycat. It's like, oh, well, Indiana played fast and they played low minutes and they played a bunch of guys. It's because they got a bunch of good players.
Yeah, right.
What? Andrew Nembhard is fantastic. Neesmith is fantastic. Like, they got McConnell can go. Like, they've got a bunch of guys. Well, they are deep, right? When you're down four, you probably shouldn't go 11 deep.
I hadn't thought about it in those terms, but it is true. Like, if we had a new boss come in and they sit us down and they were like, all right, GP, Vernon, you guys, what you've been doing for a long time, like you both, been on all-star teams and made all-NBA and whatever. But now we're going to break every 5 minutes. I'd be like, yo, I like to talk for like 20 minutes at a time sometimes, maybe even 25. Yeah, but now the new thing, we're going to break every 5 minutes. That's the way I think podcasts should work. We're breaking every 5 minutes. We would be pissed off.
Of course,
and raving too.
Of course. Look, there's nothing new under the sun. Every new coach tried. So Dave Yeager, we were going to run. Dave Yeager was going to run, right? At the beginning of the season. Well, that lasted about 2 weeks. And he's like, oh, wait, I've got Marc Gasol and I've got Zach Randolph and I've got that, you know what I mean? And then the grit and grind Grizzlies were taken over by David Fizdale. We've got to play at a faster pace. That's what we have to do. So in order to play that faster pace, I need JaMychal Green, starting over Zach Randolph, right? And that actually, like he kept doing that throughout the year. And then what happened? You got to the playoffs and you got to when it mattered. Guess who was back starting? Like, what the hell was that? What did we just do? Everybody wants to try their ideas, right? Everybody wants to try their new ideas to try to make it work. And so I think the prayer at this point, you have already seen him adjust. You've already seen it, right? You've already seen it. Ja Morant ain't coming out in the first quarter fast. Right? Like, so there's obviously been some adjustment that is taking place. Now, the next adjustment we need is like, hey, the three best chances you have at scoring are Ja Morant, Cedric Coward, and Jaren Jackson Jr. How about you maximize their minutes on the court together instead of playing them one of the least percentages of three-man lineups? It's just insane. It's insane. Nobody cares about the other three guys. None of them would start on another good team. Maybe KCP because of his track record and being on 2 championship teams. But your other guard would have to be amazing. And what I hope is that they don't like, you know what I mean? Like, again, it's always players or coaches, and sometimes it's players and coaches. And last year, it's like, to me, it was like, well, we're not going to be able to defend at the highest level if we get rid of Desmond. Or, if we have, if you have Morant and Bane in the backcourt, you're not going to. Bro, you had an amazing defense when you had Dylan Brooks and Steven Adams. Like, this needs to be talked about, bro. We have gotten worse at all 3 positions progressively.
Right.
Progressively. Desmond Bane, Dylan Brooks, Steven Adams, none of the players that play in the places of those guys are better. And so now it's like, I get sick watching the Knicks last night. I am so tired of hearing about the deals we almost had done. Oh, we offered everything for OG Anunoby. We offered everything for Mikal Bridges. We offered this package for Dorian Finney-Smith. Like, no, I don't care. I don't care. I need it to materialize because what has happened is you have gotten progressively worse at the 3 positions surrounding your 2 best players. And now your 2 best players are super frustrated.
And you can see that on the court in the game, and you want to get real depressed, pop into YouTube and go find like those post-game on the court Rob Fisher interviews from that era where everybody's having fun. Everything's a party. Like everything's a blast. And then you just contrast it with what we're watching now. And it's like almost like you're watching somebody's honeymoon video.
Yes.
And then you're watching their divorce proceedings.
Yes.
And it's like, yo, you're the same people. And this was only a few years ago.
So
How
what
did you go
happened
from-
here? Yeah.
What happened? Look at you over here. You're hugging and kissing and you're having the best time. And now you're over here fighting over your kids. How did you go from here to here in 4 years or whatever?
Right.
Like, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, and then the post-game interviews, they're saying all the right things, right? And again, maybe it's just we're massively impatient and this stuff takes time. And in the end, you're 4-8. I mean, you're not 1-8, right?
Yep.
And so you're 4-8, and so, but I say this every day. You're 24 hours away from feeling okay, right? They go in Boston tonight, then we'll be like, okay, maybe we're on to something. You know what I mean? Like, they have beaten the teams that are, worse than them. And the schedule has been tough. Like, this has not been an easy schedule to navigate through it hasn't been an easy schedule to figure things out with. That's what I'm saying, right? Shorthanded, figuring things out, combined with the teams that they have played. Because go look at the 8. They haven't lost to a rat team yet, right? It's not like we lost to the Wizards, and it's not like and the parity is great in the NBA, but it's just you watch them last night and you're like, good grief. This just looks, I mean, they're just, even when they cut it to 10, it's like, I don't know. Ja looks pissed off all the time. He's yelling at people. He's frustrated. Like, it's honestly, it emits from the two best players, and they look frustrated.
Right, like I was texting Wally Zerbiak does Knicks games for MSG, and I was texting with him last night. He was just like, they're throwing the ball all over the place. It was just like the vibes are all. He was just like, he's hearing about them and now seeing it in person, and he was like, this does not look good. No. It's just it's bad. Hey, before I get you out of here, last thing. So the Celtics are clearly not what they once were, but they're still a 6.5 point favorite tonight over the Grizzlies. Talk to me about the Celtics. What are we going to see tonight?
I mean, second half of a back-to-back. It's the Jaylen Brown show. So I guess Caldwell Pope will start out on him, but I mean, he's one of the top 10, I think, scores in the NBA.
Yes,
thus far this
right.
season. Yeah, he's averaging damn near 30, or maybe he is 30 so far this year. So I mean, it's the Jaylen Brown show, but you know what they bring to the table. They have no rebounding. It's one of the worst rebounding teams like ever. So obviously that is something like that is non-negotiable. You better win the rebounding battle in a massive way, and that is something that has befell the Grizzlies. Is that even when the Oklahoma City game, or like last night, you're losing the possession game. Last night, I think it was 15 more shots in the first half that New York had. So in the absence of your offense being some kind of fine-tuned machine, you have to win the possession game. That means you keep your turnovers low, and that means you rebound. Well, this is a team that you should be able to keep your turnovers low, and you should be able to rebound against. And then you just pray that they're going to make 20 of the 53s, or I'm sorry, 18 of the 53s they take, and not 24. I mean, that's the way this goes, right? They take a million threes, and that who the guy, like, there's one guy. If the rest of them beat you, but if Jaylen Brown is going to come out and have 40-something points, like, there's one guy he's the head of the snake, and he's the one that makes them go. And so, obviously, step number 1 is stopping Brown. Step number 2 is win the possession game. They have no bigs. They have none. They have no bigs. Not like the Grizzlies are a who's who of big guys, but you better win that. You better win the rebounding battle, and you better keep your turnovers low. Because again, their possessions are worth 3 more often than not, right? They're trading you 3 for 2 on a regular basis. You just got to let them have less shots than you, because when it adds up like it did last night, it's like, bro, not only are they the better offensive team, they're also getting 15 more cracks at it than you. Right. Next thing you know, you're down by 1,000.
That is Chris Vernon. Chris Vernon Show, weekdays at noon. He'll be in studio in about an hour and 15. Grizz Celtics tonight. That's a 6:30 Central tip. You'll be able to watch it. FanDuel Sports Network. When we come back, turn our attention to the Tigers. The Grizzlies lost in New York last night. the Tigers lost down in Oxford. They were at least competitive with an SEC team. That's not something we had seen in the exhibitions. I'll ask Bennett if he walks away encouraged by what he saw or troubled by what he saw. We'll talk Tiger basketball next. Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzly stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
The Grizzlies are the one thing everyone in the family can agree on. So join us every Sunday this season for Sunday Family Fun Days. It's a steal at just $35 and includes a ticket to the game, a $10 food voucher, post-game free throws on the court, and a meet and greet with mascot Grizz. Space is limited, so grab your tickets now for this unique experience your family won't soon forget. Go to grizzlies.com/Sunday and have a fun day.
Calling all collectors! Topps NBA basketball trading cards are back. It's available in the Grizzlies Den by Fanatics and online at Topps.com. Rip into bold color parallels, electric inserts, relics, and autographed cards from today's biggest stars and the next-gen talent. Look out for rookie cards of Cooper Flagg and Dylan Harper, plus Grizzlies favorites Ja Morant, Jalen Wells, and so many more. You don't want to miss this drop. Grab your set before it's gone.
Nate Bargatze.
Look, I say a lot of dumb stuff. I try to keep it in front of large groups. Seems to go better that way.
Big Dumb Eyes World Tour.
When you say something dumb one-on-one, it's a lot for that person. I'll say it, then I can just feel that they feel the weight of my life on their shoulders.
Tickets and info at NateBargatze.com. Don't miss the Big Dumb Eyes World Tour. Nate Bargatze.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either, and that's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays, in the evenings, and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more, orthosouth.org. That's orthosouth at orthosouth.org. Now I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
Final score, Ole Miss 83, Memphis 77. So the Tigers dropped to 1-1 on the season. Big Man Bennett, can you hear me?
Well, I can hear you just fine. Can you hear me?
I can't hear a word you're saying anymore.
Yeah, that sounds like a you problem. It's not me. He must have muted something.
I got you now. How did you just go away all of a sudden?
It was Kyra. She's trying to sabotage you.
Okay, I'm not going to blame Kyra because bless her heart, she's the best employee we got as far as I'm concerned.
That's true.
We texted her every day like, Kyra, we need you at 8:15. Kyra, we need you to stay till 1:15. Kyra, we need you at midnight, and she's always on board. So I'm not going to let you blame her, but buddy, that's nice. It's nice that we got it. It's nice that we got it back because that panic was about to set in because it was like, if I can't hear Bennett, it becomes wildly difficult to try to get through 5 more things. I could get through a monologue without you. No problem. But 5 more things without you, buddy, I don't know if I could do it. How you feeling about the Tigers last night? On one hand, they were competitive with an SEC team. That's not something we saw against Arkansas or Auburn in the exhibitions. On the other hand, it was still a loss to an Ole Miss team that I have in the top 25 and 1, but it's not currently ranked in the AP poll.
Yeah, I mean, they were 10.5-point underdogs. They lost by 6. I thought that they were very competitive. Some good, some concerning, I would say. The good is I think that they've got a nice guard rotation. I think they've got some really good pieces there on the guard position and on the wing. And I think that I'm optimistic that they are going to be able to get at least a game or two that they are not supposed to get in this non-conference schedule. I'm actually feeling good about that after these first 2 games. I think we're going to get one. I think we're going to get you a Q1, GP. I think we're going to get you a quad 1. I do. I just have a feeling about that. But on the other side, the front court is a little concerning. I mean, it just is. Aaron Bradshaw had 1 point last night, 1 rebound. Penny Hardaway talked about his effort a little bit in the post game.
I mean,
that's a little concerning. Yeah.
This is the problem with believing in people who have already shown you they can't be believed in, is that you end up disappointed. And I know it's just 1 game, but it is 1 game against a good, not great opponent, and 1 point, 1 rebound in 20 minutes? Bro, you are the most physically talented person on the court, and on most courts you're ever on. You are a former McDonald's All-American.
Yes, of course.
He doesn't look like anybody else on the court.
So true.
Former 5-star recruit, McDonald's All-American, projected one-and-done lottery pick. That's who he was supposed to be. Fast forward 3 years, 1 point, 1 rebound in 20 minutes. And Penny made it clear after the game, like, yo, we're not waiting on him. If he can't do better than that, we don't need him. It just means he didn't say this exactly, but the sentiment is we're not waiting on him. We're not waiting on anybody. I mean, they paid real money for that guy in the hopes that he would be what his talents suggest is possible, and maybe he will be when we get him against American competition. But against power conference competition, at Kentucky in year 1, he showed he wasn't very good. At Ohio State in year 2, he showed he wasn't very good. And last night against Ole Miss, undeniably, he wasn't very good. Doug McDaniel was nice, 15.7 rebounds, 7 assists. But the Aaron Bradshaw thing is problematic. I feel like you could throw me out there for 20 minutes and I'd be able to grab. I could get you 1.
Yeah,
I could get you 1, maybe.
The quote, Parth's got it. The quote from Penny after the game, he's talking about Aaron Bradshaw and Zach Davis, who are both big acquisitions for the Tigers this offseason. And Penny said, we just got to have high energy. That's all. I love both those young men. We just got to have high energy. We don't have the time to wait on anybody, so we're not waiting.
Right. I mean, you got to be better than that. There's no getting around. To be as tall as he is and as athletic as he is, to only grab 1 board in a basketball game when you're on the court for 20 minutes is unacceptable. And the only reason you were only on the court for 20 minutes is because you only grabbed 1 rebound in 20 minutes and weren't bringing any kind of effort. Yo, man, you are costing yourself millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. You are cementing your reputation as just doesn't want it bad enough, can't tap into the natural talent. Perhaps Sunday will be a bounce-back game for him against UNLV inside FedEx Forum, but that was undeniably the most troubling specific thing connected to last night's game. Aaron Bradshaw gave you absolutely nothing. Still, they only lose by 6 on the road to an SEC team that is projected to make the NCAA tournament. That's not the worst thing in the world. But to your initial point, if they do not outperform expectations, win some games they're, quote, not supposed to win, this is going to be a rough stretch, them trying to get through this non-league schedule. Because I'll just run through it for you right now based on KenPom projections. They beat San Francisco, lose to Ole Miss. They're 1-1 heading into the UNLV game. Expected to win that, so they should be 2-1. After that, it's Purdue. Expected to lose that, at which point they would be 2-2. Barring a surprise, their next game in the Bahamas would be against Wake Forest. Wake Forest is now below Memphis at KenPom, which suggests Memphis would be a slight favorite in that game. So let's give them a win over Wake Forest. You're 3-2. Then you got Southern Illinois and New Orleans. You're 5-2. But then comes this stretch: Baylor, Louisville, Vanderbilt, Mississippi State, expected to lose all of those. So now you're 5-6. After that, Alabama State, you're expected to win that. You would be 6-6 going into your conference opener with one more non-league game on the schedule. That's a February game against Utah State. So 6-6. Let's just play hypothetical here. This is the most likely scenario according to the most referenced computer college basketball fans subscribe to. 6-6 through 12 games heading into the conference opener against North Texas. How are Tiger fans, yourself included, feeling about that? Because that's what at least one prominent computer suggests is more likely than not.
I take that prominent computer. And I kick it across this room.
You're kicking computers.
I'm kicking a hole in that computer. I'm bashing the screen in. Okay. I don't think it's going to be 6-6. I don't.
You don't think it'll be 6-6?
No,
if I told you had to bet your beard, let's bet your beard.
That it's going to be.
Let's bet your beard.
Okay.
How about this? Through 12 games, if Memphis is better than 6-6, what do I do for you?
I don't know.
I got it. If Memphis is better than 6-6 through 12 games, I campaign hard for you. I throw around whatever Grind City media weight I might have, which might not be much. I do everything I can to send you to Las Vegas for Summer League next summer.
That's not a guarantee, though. That's just you're going to try your best. I have to actually do something.
I'll try my best.
Nah, I'm not doing that bet. I'm not doing that bet. First off, I don't care enough. I'm not doing that bet. I'm not doing that bet.
If Memphis is better than 6-6 through 12 games, I will do something for you to be determined. If Memphis is not at least 6-6 through 12 games, you shave your beard live on the air. Clean face. You look like me. You walk in looking like you. You walk out looking like me.
I'm going to pass. You don't believe in your Tigers? I do believe in them. I do believe in them.
Doesn't sound like it.
I do believe in them. I think
it doesn't sound like it.
I'm not doing it. I'm not taking the bet. No. I need this to stay warm this winter.
All it takes is for Memphis to go 7-5 through 12 games. That's all it would take. Do you not believe in Penny Hardaway?
I do believe in him. Yeah.
It does not sound like it. This is an opportunity for you to put your beard where your mouth is. Why don't you want to put your beard where your mouth is?
Honestly, if I'm just going to keep it real, like every team that I've ever rooted for has always like broken my heart and let me down. So I'm just not going to do that. But I'm confident. I'm confident.
November 12th, 2025 goes down in history as the day Bennett Doyle lost his belief in Memphis basketball. He refused to put his beard where his mouth is.
It's not true. It's not true.
What is not true about it? Are you not refusing to put your beard where your mouth is?
I just don't want to take the bet. No, I don't want to do that. No.
So what did I say? November 12th, 2025 is the day Bennett Doyle refused to put his beard where his mouth is.
Maybe I'll trim it.
Trimming's not good enough.
How about a trim? How about a trim? How about we up the guard per loss? How about that?
What kind of guard are you on right now?
None. I don't think they make a guard for this.
Okay,
I don't think that'd be
no
possible.
Guards. I don't like guards, Bennett. I like this. This is the way I want my face to move. I want you to look just like me. We're going to get you some black glasses and a fat neck. You're going to shave your beard. We're going to get you some black glasses and a fat neck, and you're going to look just like me if the Tigers aren't at least 7-5. Put your beard where your mouth is.
Nah.
Chicken.
Nah, I'm not going to do it. I don't want to do it. Why would I sacrifice something that I love? Like you said, Aaron Bradshaw grabbed one rebound last night. Come on, man. Like, I got to be punished too. That's not fair.
In fairness to you, putting your beard in the hands of Aaron Bradshaw doesn't sound like the smartest thing you've ever done.
I'm still feeling confident. I am. I'm feeling confident. I think I'm eyeballing that Baylor Vandy back to back at home. I think we're gonna get one of those. I really do.
I hope so, Bennett. I sure do hope so.
Don't you feel encouraged after last night? A little bit. Obviously, the front court thing aside, they got some real players. Like I think we were scared coming in that this could get ugly. It's not ugly.
I will tell you that after the Arkansas exhibition and the Auburn exhibition, I felt some kind of way. And after the San Francisco game and the Ole Miss game, I feel better about Memphis than I felt after the exhibitions, because they beat a top 80 San Francisco team, and then they were competitive with a NCAA tournament team on the road. Like that, those two things suggest you should still be the best team in your league, but you got to get to your league schedule, and it could get bumpy on your way to your league schedule.
Also, I did want to mention too, I really liked Chris Beard's post-game comments when he was asked about the series, just keeping it continuing, and he said, we want to play Memphis. We're going to play Memphis. So
yeah, Chris gets all that. He understands this is supposed to be entertainment. Like, that's why he played a game last year in South Haven. He's like, we want to take our program to our fans. And, obviously there's Ole Miss alumni in Oxford, Ole Miss alumni in Jackson, but DeSoto County and the Memphis area is filled with Ole Miss grads.
Yeah.
And I know the game in South Haven didn't register, like people didn't show up the way you would like. So maybe take a second look at that. Is there a better way to do it? A better way to promote it? Is it worth doing? We can have that conversation another time. But Chris understands the value in playing a prominent basketball program that is just, an hour or so away from you. And so, yes, where Rick Barnes and John Calipari are hesitant or outright defiant when it comes to the idea of doing a home-and-home series with the Tigers, Chris Beard is open to it, wants to do it. And if I were Penny, I would take him up on that offer. Put me in charge. And Memphis and Ole Miss are playing basketball in Oxford and in FedEx Forum in alternate years without exception. Last night, Ole Miss comes out ahead 83-77. Next up for the Tigers, Josh Pastor, UNLV, at home on Sunday.
Number 2.
Biggest game of the night last night. It happened at the Yum Center in Louisville, and the Cardinals, Memphis' old rival in the Metro Conference, 96-88 victory over Kentucky. If you're tired of hearing about the fabulous freshman class, I apologize, because here we are again. Michael Brown, 5-star freshman at Louisville. He got 29 points last night against Kentucky. And like we talked about earlier in this season that is now in its second week, we've known for a while that there was a big three in college basketball. Big three freshmen, Darren Peterson at Kansas, Cameron Boozer at Duke, A.J. DeBonsa at BYU. Those are the best three. They were the top three in the class. They should be the top three picks in the 2026 NBA draft. But there are other elite freshmen. Maybe they don't crack that top three, but they can be first-team All-Americans with those top three. And Michael Brown is an example of that. 29 points in a win over Kentucky. Meantime, Arizona freshman Koa Pete already has a 30-point game in a victory over Florida. North Carolina freshman Caleb Wilson already has a 24-point game in a victory over Kansas. So some people are calling this the best freshman class of all time. And if you're curious, like, what would be the other candidate, most folks point to 2007. If that sounds familiar, that's the high school class that featured Derrick Rose, O.J. Mayo, Kevin Love, Eric Gordon, so on and so forth. There's a lot of reason, early, sure, but a lot of reason to think this freshman class, is even better than that one. And among the reasons is Michael Brown at Louisville. 29 points last night, 8-point victory over Kentucky. I've now got Pat Kelsey's Cardinals in the top 10 of the top 25 and 1.
Number 3.
College football playoff rankings updated last night. I always remember this is the case in November because it's the rare time at the CBS Broadcast Center where we have a college basketball crew and a college football crew both in studio. So last night, man, it's crowded in there. You're trying to walk around. You got Rick Neuheisel standing over here and Adam Zucker standing over there. The college football crew was waiting to tape a show that went live at 10 p.m., but they had to wait till after the college football playoff rankings are posted. So got to see a bunch of those guys last night. The top 5 in the rankings remain unchanged. Ole Miss is now at number 7. And did you see who replaced the Tigers as the 12 seed in the college football playoff bracket, Big Ben Bennett?
I would assume South Florida. I didn't see it.
It is the South Florida Bulls. The South Florida Bulls are now slotted as the 12 seed. They're now projected to open against the 5 seed Georgia in the first round of the college football playoffs. Again, the top 4 seeds are right now Ohio State, Texas A&M, Alabama, and Indiana, with South Florida representing the group of 5. Ole Miss, the 7 seed. Right now, it would be a first-round matchup on the road. Oh, no, rather, a first-round matchup in Oxford against Arch Manning and Texas. Wouldn't that be something?
That
Arch
would
Manning
be pretty cool.
playing at Ole Miss in the college football playoff based on the current projections. That's what we've got.
Number 4.
Pittsburgh Pirates general manager, a guy named Ben Cherington, met with the media yesterday and reiterated that the Pirates, under no circumstances, will trade Paul Skenes this offseason. He, of course, is the phenom, former LSU star who has had one of the great first 2 years to a career that any pitcher has ever had, below 2 ERA in both seasons. Rookie of the year. He started 2 All-Star games already and is probably about to win his first Cy Young Award. He's still under team control for 4 more seasons, but baseball people think there's like literally no chance the Pirates will be able to keep him, sign him to a long-term deal. And so there is a thought in baseball circles that if you're the Mets or the Dodgers or the Yankees or a team like that, you should be on the phone with Pittsburgh right now, seeing if they're willing to take a haul to move off of him because, yeah, you still got him for 4 more years if you just want to play it out, but eventually he's going to sign somewhere else, and if you don't move him at some point, you're going to lose him for what amounts to basically nothing. I know there's compensation, blah, 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 but there's real motivation sometimes for baseball franchises to move off of players they know they can't sign long-term, and this is crazy that this is a thing in baseball. The 2 best pitchers in baseball right now are probably Tarek Skubal in Detroit, Paul Skenes in Pittsburgh. And the 2 biggest stories connected to them is whether or not either franchise will trade them this offseason because they can't keep them long-term because they won't pay them long-term. Can you imagine if an NBA franchise – can you imagine this? If the San Antonio Spurs drafted Victor Wembanyama and this past offseason, one of the biggest storylines in the NBA was, well, are the Spurs going to just move him, trade him to the Lakers or the Heat or the Knicks? Because there's no way they can keep him long term. Like, imagine if that's what it's like to be a fan of your franchise. You're a Pirates fan and everything connected. You just drafted and developed on some level one of the greatest pitchers of all time. At least he's on that track. And everything discussed about him is like, when are you going to move him? Because you can't possibly keep him. What if you knew right now there's no chance Ja Morant will spend would spend 10 years in Memphis? You drafted him. He's the rookie of the year. He's this young star. And you knew as a Grizzlies fan, you have no chance to keep him more than a few more years. Like, that's just a horrible
yeah.
to go through being a fan. And yet they're doing it in Detroit right now. And they're doing it in Pittsburgh right now. Like I've said before, because they've got other interesting prospects coming up. If I were the Pirates owner, I would have yesterday already announced to my fan base, I cannot put a gun to Paul Skenes' head and make him sign a long-term contract, but I want you guys to know I have one on the table for him that makes him the wealthiest, highest-paid pitcher in the history of Major League Baseball. He can sign it whenever he wants, and I also have a promise to him in place that if he signs it, I will immediately have a top 10 payroll with the Pirates franchise, immediately starting next season. And my other owners, my colleagues in this thing, they're telling me I'm crazy, that if I spend this kind of money on a roster, that you guys, my fans, won't show up. I don't make enough in local television, and it will overwhelm me financially, and I will take a huge loss. And you know what? They might be right, but we're going to see. I'm not going to have a whole city out there asking me why I don't spend money and why I didn't try to sign Paul Skenes. So this is me telling you, if he wants to be the highest paid pitcher in history, he can do that today. And when he does it, I am committed to having a top 10 payroll in baseball next season. Press conference over. I would make that kind of stand, and I would do it. And if I lose $100 million, I'd just lose $100 million. And I know there's billionaires out there going, yeah, it's always somebody like you talking about you'd be comfortable losing $100 million. That's why you're not a billionaire. But what is the alternative? Why do you own a baseball franchise if this is what it is? What is the point of being super wealthy and owning something people care about if you run it this way and everybody hates you because of it?
Right. No, I mean, I completely agree. Like, it's just, I guarantee you Pirates fans today feel like, okay, I'm sure they feel helpless with the Paul Skenes situation. Like, it's like, okay, we'll get to see this guy a few more years and then he'll be gone and we'll still be here sucking.
And that might be their reality no matter what you do. Like I said, you can't make him sign anything, but I would make my fans know this is what I'm trying to do. And if it doesn't get done, it's not because I didn't try, because right now what your whole fan base thinks is you're not even going to try. You're just going to keep running them out there on little bitty salaries, letting these years come off of the contracts, and eventually you'll move him for a big package of prospects, and you'll say, we hope one of these prospects can turn into what? Paul Skenes? You already had Paul Skenes, and you gave him away in hopes that somebody else will become Paul Skenes, when in reality, none of these people are going to become Paul Skenes because he's like a one-of-one generational talent. It's just crazy that the Detroit franchise has to deal with this and the Pittsburgh franchise has to deal with this. But given that I'm a Mets fan and the Mets might be the team that makes a move for Tarek Skubal, I'm actually okay with it. Go get him. We need somebody to open. We need somebody to open the 2026 season.
Number 5.
It's now official. Chick-fil-A has announced and unveiled a new waffle chicken sandwich. They will test it starting December 1st in Baltimore. They will test it starting December 1st in Las Vegas, in San Antonio. So Big Bet Bennett, do we need to go to the Riverwalk? Do we need to go to Camden Yards? Are you going to put your teeth into a waffle chicken sandwich?
See, it says now I like the idea of, let's see, we got a breakfast sandwich and a sandwich. Okay, so what's really the difference besides the breakfast sandwich is smaller?
One of them you eat in the morning, the other one you eat after lunch. No big deal.
Kyra says the breakfast one comes with syrup, but I would want syrup with my lunch sandwich too.
I think the breakfast one, you dip it in syrup. The lunch one, that's reserved for honey mustard or Chick-fil-A sauce.
Sick. Now that's gross.
What the fuck? What?
Whoa.
What is sick? What is sick?
You can't dip a waffle in honey mustard. That's disgusting.
Counterpoint, you can dip anything in honey mustard.
A waffle sandwich should only go with syrup. Okay, chicken and waffles is I know you can eat it for breakfast, but it's also a lunch dinner dish as well, right? Am I right here? Do you eat that with syrup?
You can eat it with syrup. You can eat it with whatever you want. And sometimes I like honey mustard.
I will.
Judge me. I don't care. I like honey mustard. Judge me. I don't care. I'll dip anything in honey mustard.
Honey mustard's okay.
I dip anything in honey mustard. Here's the truth. I would never go to a steakhouse and order any kind of condiment because I don't want to look like a peasant. All right. But privately, I wouldn't mind just having honey mustard around all the time.
Off track a little bit before we get back to the waffle sandwich, by the way, because you said it. I think steak sauce is delicious and great. And if you put a bottle of A1 on the table at the finest steakhouse, I would take it and I would dump it all over my steak. I don't care.
No, you can't do it.
No, I don't care. All right.
No.
And I have good taste. I have a good palate.
No,
I don't care. I think steak sauce is delicious.
No. Okay. Here's where I'm willing to. You can do it privately. You know how there's some things in life you can do it privately and it's fine, but you can never do it out in public. Just run all the things in your head that would fall under that umbrella. If you do it behind closed doors in your own home, it's fine. But man, you cannot do that out in public.
There is nothing There is nothing I want to do more than go to Folks Folly and order the most expensive cut in that place and dump steak sauce all over it and enjoy the hell out of it.
We used to have annual, maybe semi-annual, like University of Memphis dinners at Folks Folly. And they would just invite local media to come out and have a nice meal at Folks Folly. And so it would be, the commercial appeal people and the Channel 5 people and the Channel 3 people and the Channel 13 people and the Memphis Flyer and whatever else. And there's one local media member. I swear this has just never gotten out of my head. We're sitting at Folks Folly and everybody orders the amazing cuts of beef. And this one person was like, hey, do you have any Heinz 57? And they were like, sure. Would you like some? He was like, sure. Yes, of course.
Yeah, why do you have it?
For people like this. And so he dumped it all over. And I just remember going, I have never been able to get that out of my head. Every time I see this person, it is what I think about. I see this person and I go, man, I can't believe. There is almost nothing I could have seen this person do that would have made me hang my head in disappointment more than that. I was like, no, not you. You're not one of them, are you? You're one of them?
You don't respect their palate.
I respect him as a person. That's a thing I now know about him that I would rather just not know. You ever been on like Facebook and you got like your Facebook friends and it's like, man, and somebody would be like, hey, you remember old Donna? I'm just making up names. And it'd be like, yeah, I like Donna. Donna's the best. And they're like, man, you guys should go on Facebook and see what she's up to. And then you go on Facebook and see what she's up to and you're like, oh no. Oh, Donna. And you're like, you know, I would just rather have not known that about Donna.
I'm not on Facebook, so I don't have that scenario, but I know what you're talking about.
I would have rather not known that about Donna. I was fine. I like Donna from a distance. I didn't need to know she got down like that. All right? Because now that's all I think about when I think of Donna.
Yeah.
That's what happened to me at Folks Folly that night.
Fair
I
enough.
saw it with my own eyes. I saw it with my own eyes.
And what I would say is if they care so much about that, then just don't have Heinz 57 or any steak sauce on hand if it matters that much.
You ready for this? If I owned a place like Folks Folly, like a premier steakhouse, I wouldn't have it. We would tell our customers, we don't have that. You need to go to Outback. You must be looking for Outback. But this is Folks Folly. We don't carry that. You should go to Outback.
That's like the dude. There's like a clip of like the world's or the U.S.'s first hamburger place, and when you go there, you can't get ketchup. They don't have ketchup. They only have mustard to put on your hamburger. I'm like, okay, well then I'll go get a burger at McDonald's and dump a whole thing of ketchup all over it.
That's what I tell you.
Why are you withholding from me?
That's what I would tell you. You should go to McDonald's. You should go to Outback. You're looking for...
No. I'm looking for a prime cut, buddy, to be dunked in some delicious A1 steak sauce.
You need to go to the Arby's drive-thru and get some of those steak bites that they've been putting in the commercials.
And listen, don't get it twisted. Like, when I've gone and gotten... Also, can I just say, you ready for this? You ready for this? I think steak is overrated.
Oh, my God, Bennett.
Yeah. Oh, let's go to an amazing steakhouse and
I will say,
open a bottle of wine. A steak's fine. It's good. I like it. I like a great steak. My wife loves steak. God, don't I know? That's all we ever got to go eat on a special occasion is some steak. I want something else.
Hey, I'm going to try to meet you in the middle here. Has there ever been a time where I went, that was a nice steak. That was really nice. But like, it was 8 ounces for $75. Like, you know, would I have enjoyed, just to circle it back, a spicy Chick-fil-A sandwich for $6 or whatever it is, just the same? Like, did I just spend $70 for no reason? I would have been as satisfied with a Chick-fil-A sandwich dipped in honey mustard. Does that thought ever go through my head? Yes, of course it does. Of course it does. But I love steak, and I'll do it again. I'll do it today. I might do it today. Back to Chick-fil-A.
And then maybe they should put like, you know, Folks Folly, maybe they should start making chimichurri. I like, how about chimichurri instead of steak sauce?
I will say that we went to...
I can make a good chimichurri.
Okay, stop bragging. I know when you're just trying to brag. I know when you're just trying to brag.
Can I bring my chimichurri to a delicious steakhouse and put it on my steak that I paid $75 for?
You can, but you can't do it with me. All right.
Okay.
I will get up and leave the table. Like I get uncomfortable with other people's dining habits. If you order something that I find offensive, I get uncomfortable. If you like, this happens sometimes. I'll be at a table and there'll be other couples or whatever, and it's taking a little while, right? It's taking a minute for the food to come. And I'm fine. I got my phone, whatever. We've all got our phones. Can't you just scroll Instagram for 5 minutes like you were going to do at home? Like, just relax. And somebody will say something to the server like, hey, I was just checking, just checking, seeing how things were going. Or you just like, they already know they're running behind. They're already stressed about it. You're not adding anything positive.
Now, this we can agree on. That makes me sick to my stomach.
Just shut up and just sit there.
Dude, let me tell you another thing. Brother, I would eat something with hair on it before I would send it back. You will never catch me sending anything back. I don't care if it's disgusting. I will sit there and eat it.
I had this experience recently at a dinner it wasn't me. It was somebody else at the table. But we had waited for a long time. The food finally came, and there was like a spot on the plate, or there was something not perfect. And they were like, "But you see this?" And I'm like, "You were crazy if you send that back." You go wait another 30 minutes. You could shave Bennett's beard, throw it in my food. At this point, I'm just gonna tough it out, man. I'm not waiting anymore. I can't.
Yeah.
I get really bothered by other people's.
I do too.
You put unnecessary pressure on the server. Oh, here's another one. I hate this. If you're dining with me, know this. Okay, hey, here's all the food. Can I get you anything else? Yeah, could we get some more ketchup over here? Yeah, sure, I get you the ketchup. They bring you the ketchup. Oh, could I get another sweet tea, please? Yeah, sure. They bring you the sweet tea. Oh, hey, do you have any extra? Ask all this stuff at the same time.
Yeah.
Don't have this person running back and forth nonstop. Like, if you need tea, an extra plate, and some ketchup, let's knock it all out right now in one trip. You don't keep making them go and come back. And I say this as somebody who was never a server. I have real love in my heart for those people.
One more before we get back to the chicken sandwich. If you ask the waiter what they recommend, you better be ready to order what they recommend to you, okay? Don't spit in their face and order something else in spite of what they just told you was good on the menu. You ask.
Well, I'm glad we're talking about this. I don't know if anybody else is glad we're talking about this.
No, they hate us. Everyone hates me now for my steak takes.
Well, your steak takes are awful. But you're exactly like this happens all the time to me. I'll be sitting with somebody and they'll look up at the server and they'll say, "So what's your favorite appetizer?" Well, who gives a shit what their favorite appetizer is? What if their favorite appetizer is something that you don't like? We have different tastes in appetizers. Like, my favorite appetizer might be mozzarella sticks. But what if this fella's favorite appetizer is potato skins? But I don't even like potatoes. So now I'm like, "What's your favorite appetizer, buddy?" "I really enjoy the potato skins." "Well, I don't like potato skins." "Well, then what are you asking me for? Just order, dummy." Why does their favorite, like, why would I care what your favorite cereal is if I'm standing in the cereal box line? I'm going to get my favorite cereal. And if you're an adult, you don't know what your favorite appetizer is at this point. I don't need no recommendations.
I like the recommendations. I will ask for the recommendation, but if I ask for a recommendation, I'm taking the recommendation. You see what I'm saying?
But what if they recommend something you don't like?
Then don't ask. Then you better just know what you want. Yeah.
Just at this point, we're all adults. Like, I am baffled by people who don't know what they want.
And I'll take 2 bottles of steak sauce on the table as well.
I live with somebody who, we drive through Wendy's, and they'll act like they never seen the Wendy's menu before. "Welcome to Wendy's. Can we take your order?" Tell them to hold on. You don't know. Like, it's Wendy's.
No, I'm not holding on.
There's never been a day of your life when you didn't know the Wendy's menu. Why are we stumped at the Wendy's counter? Well, why just order a double with cheese? I know what you want. I know what you want. Get you a chocolate Frosty and dip your French fries in it. I've seen you do this before.
Yeah.
I know what you do at Wendy's. So what do they have at Wendy's? What do they have at Wendy's? I just think
burgers and fries and nuggets.
Yeah, it's not difficult. All right, none of this is difficult. No. Anyway, I like chicken and I like waffles.
Of course.
So
I'm sure it'll be amazing.
I like Chick-fil-A and I like waffles and I like chicken. So I'm sure this is going to be amazing. My main concern would be it doesn't look like it's something good to touch. You know how I am about touching food with my hands.
What, you think it looks a little spongy?
It just looks like it's going to be hard to touch for me personally.
The waffle?
I'm gonna have to get a knife out.
I love holding a waffle. What are you talking about?
I know.
You don't like holding a waffle?
I don't like holding much.
Like one of those Belgian waffles like that? That's what it looks like. It looks like one of those thick Belgian waffles. Man, just holding that in your hand, the freshness, the warmth.
It just feels yucky to me. I would have to wash my hands immediately.
That's
after
really,
every bite.
really weird.
I'm gonna have to get mine with a fork and a knife, but I'm sure I will enjoy one. As soon as they bring them to the greater Memphis area, I'm sure I will enjoy
Shout out
one.
Baltimore.
For now, you got to go to Baltimore and San Antonio starting on December 1st. Be back with GP's Carryout.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Sweepstakes presented by Robinhood and go global for the 2025 NBA Global Games when the Grizz take over Europe. Grizz Nation headed to Europe. You can win a trip for 2 to London to see the Grizzlies take on the Orlando Magic. That's Desmond Bain and the Orlando Magic at O2 Stadium on Sunday, January 18th to enter. All you got to do is visit at MemGrizz on Instagram. That's at MEMGRIZZ. Like the post, comment your favorite Grizzlies memory, and don't forget to tag your travel buddy. Follow Robinhood on Instagram and enter to go see the Grizzlies play the Orlando Magic in London. You can do it at MemGrizz on Instagram. That's at MemGrizz on Instagram. Let's do GP's carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we miss today?
Bennett, it's always something with your Tennessee Titans. Here's a headline, ESPN.com.
What's going on?
Cornerback L'Jarius Sneed has been indicted by a grand jury on Tuesday on a misdemeanor charge of failure to report a felony from an incident that occurred in December 24. It sounds like this fellow witnessed something pretty bad, like a beating that possibly resulted in a death. And because he failed to report it, he has now been indicted by a grand jury. Bennett, is it ever quiet with the Tennessee Titans?
Yeah, he failed to report to the Titans this season as well, and ever since he's been there. Yikes! Yeah, that's
he's not
that's
reporting.
awful.
He's not reporting felonies. He's not reporting as an impactful football player rather. That's your latest headline connected to the Tennessee Titans. Big Bet Bennett, you'll have better days someday. It just won't be today.
What's today's biggest game?
Let's go to college basketball. It's North Florida at Tennessee. They're doing it in the Food City Center up in Knoxville. We got a 6 o'clock tip on the SEC Network Plus, so you can stream it. Oh, it's a big number. Tennessee minus 41.5.
Oh, my God.
is 154.5, and this is sort of a reminder of sort of the state of college basketball these days. You might remember 2 years ago, North Florida had a player named Chaz Lanier, and then they lost him in the transfer portal to Tennessee, where he starred for the Vols last season, all-conference performer. It is becoming increasingly difficult for mid-major coaches to maintain any type of stability, and some of them are abandoning what had been traditionally pretty good Division I head coaching jobs to go be assistants at the high major level, and North Florida is an example of that. After losing Chaz Lanier to Tennessee and consistently getting beat up in the transfer portal, Matt Driscoll, who had, been to NCAA tournaments at North Florida after last season, decided to leave. Just gave up his job. Just said, I resign as the head coach at North Florida. He is now an assistant coach at Kansas State, working with PJ Haggerty every day. Tonight, the Vols are playing that North Florida program, and they are favored by 41.5. How are you going to act?
Okay, I'm going to need you to talk me through this a little bit, because North Florida, their only other game this season was against Florida, the Gators. Mm-hmm. They lost by 40 points in that game. 41.5 point underdogs tonight, but only lost by 40 to Florida. Do we think Tennessee's better than Florida?
No.
I'm taking North Florida.
North Florida plus the 41.5. Bennett says he's taking a bunch of points tonight. 6 o'clock tip, SEC Network Plus.
What are we watching on TV?
The first trailer for Toy Story 5 has dropped. Big Bet Bennett, have you seen it?
Of course I have.
I love the Toy Story franchise.
I love the Toy Story franchise, and I love what they're doing with this one.
It's perfect.
Do you know what it's about?
So I don't know the specifics, but I picked up on it by watching the trailer. Apparently, there's a new thing in town that's putting a threat into the existence of toys. What is the biggest threat to toys when it comes to kids in the summer 2026? It is a tablet.
Buddy, that resonates with me.
It resonates with me.
That resonates with me. I had to bring Noah up here yesterday, and listen, man, I think the tablet is a useful tool in certain situations, okay? And so I'm pro tablet, but I also recognize that tablets are not very good for children. Evidence being they lose their minds when it gets taken away from them. That is why that's why you know they're dangerous.
And if they don't have them, all they want is them.
Yes. There was a great, hang on, I got to find it here. This is one of the, oh yeah, okay. So this person tweeted this, it's gone viral. It's their name is called Sketches by Bose, and they quoted this trailer and they said, I'm glad the villain of the new Toy Story is a child's tablet. I hope the film conveys how screens eat up a child's hobbies, interest, literacy, ability to function socially. I hope it provokes millions of parents to think twice before making the iPad a babysitter. That's an excellent point, Bose. That's an excellent point.
I'm guilty. Parent. I'm a mediocre parent at best, perhaps below average. If you want any parental advice from a mediocre / below average parent, this would be the best I could give you. Keep them away from your kids as long as you can.
Yeah.
Now, your life will be easier if you hand them over. You can go cook dinner while your kid's watching YouTube. You can talk on the phone while your kid's watching YouTube. But just know that you'll be doing them a favor if you keep the stuff away from them as long as you can. We've had to cut back. We've gone from no more PS5s during the week, no more iPhone or iPad during the week, unless it's specifically for school. But I can't get my guys to do anything. If they have access to iPads, they would always rather be on the iPads. If you ask them to do anything, they would rather do that, so they say no. You take the iPads away, the screens away. Hey, you want to go shoot basketball? Yeah, Dad. Hey, you want to go play catch? Absolutely. Hey, you want to watch the Grizzlies game with me? Yes, Dad. You give them the tablets, the answer's no or in a minute.
Right.
Or they'll come sit next to you to watch the Grizzlies game, but they won't watch the Grizzlies game. They'll hear the Grizzlies game, but they're watching the iPad the entire time. It is easier as a parent to use these things but I don't think it's good. And I say this as
Yeah,
somebody,
I don't either.
We've had to cut back, because we've noticed our kids are different when they have when they get home from school that they can have the iPads. When they think that, when they walk in the door and think I can just grab my iPad, they don't want to do anything other than that. You can't get homework done. You can't go outside and play. You can't hang out. You can't do any chores, because if those screens are available, it is all they want to do. But we have to take them away during the week just to get them to act like normal people and to be open to doing other things and thinking about other things and enjoying other things. And it sounds like Toy Story 5 is going to really drill down on that. So I'm sure it'll be amazing with lots of life lessons in there. If you can find it, Bennett sent it to me. It's all over YouTube. Just type in Toy Story 5. I'm sure it'll pop right up.
What's the best thing we've read?
Top 25 and 1 has been updated over at CBS Sports. I wrote about this freshman class after Michael Brown went for 29 points for Louisville against Kentucky last night. So if you haven't seen it yet, you can find it cbssports.com.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Tomorrow be Thursday. We'll be looking back at Grizz Celtics, getting you ready for a big college basketball game between Purdue and Alabama. That's a top 10 matchup down in Tuscaloosa. Michael Wallace will join me in the second segment. Should be a fun show. Looking forward to it already. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll enjoy mine. Meet back here tomorrow at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.